Welcome to, or welcome back to Uncommon Peasant, where we talk about all things Peasant Cube, uncommons in general, and that silver set symbol. Today is going to be the first in a series of videos talking about archetypes in Cube. Archetypes are the two color combinations that are going to guide you in how you build your cube and draft your cube, the ways that the cards synergize, and there's different all-around play styles that are going to be ways that the cards work together and, kind of point you to playing in certain ways in the cube when you draft. The first of these archetypes we'll be going over is White, Blue, Flicker, or Blink, named after the older card Momentary Blink that exiled one of your creatures and then returned to the battlefield. We're using that Enter the Battlefield ability. So first off, we're going to go over some of the signpost cards for the color combinations. In White, Blue, here are three examples of cards that will kind of guide your drafters towards that Flicker or Blink archetype. The key one is really Soul Herder here, a 3-mana 1/1 that when a creature is exiled from the battlefield, you put a +1 counter on it, and at the beginning of your end step, you can exile another target creature you control and return to the battlefield under your control. This is incredible in that it's both the enabler and the payoff for the archetype. Reusing those ETB abilities at every one of your end steps and growing every time you do that, and through maybe other means you have of blinking your creatures, means it's going to be a big threat over time. Honestly, probably a pretty big removal target, but it's going to help enable your strategy, and for 3 mana, I mean, you can't want anything more than that. Next is Reflector Mage, being a 3-mana 2/3. When it enters, you get a bounce an opponent's creature, and they can't play a spell with that same name until your next turn. So this puts them back a turn, they can't replay that creature again, and when you can reuse that ability, it gets kind of oppressive, honestly, to bounce that creature and just make them never able to play it. And if you can get it to where you can bounce 2 creatures on a turn, it's really mean. But it's, again, a really good card, even a good standalone card, which is what we like to see, and a card that's going to push you towards that White, Blue, Flicker archetype. Finally is Shuri, Vibranium Technologist, a 3-mana 2/2 Vigilance, and when she enters, you choose one. You either get a 1/1 colorless robot artifact creature token with flying, or you draw a card. The versatility here is what really makes it good. Being able to be played in either white or blue, and then either making another dude or drawing a card, especially that card draw, makes it really good, really versatile, and a good payoff for that blink or flicker strategy. So now I want to go over a few cards in both of the two colors that again are going to point towards the archetype, but also decent cards on their own. So first off is Photon Lady of Light, a 4-mana 3/3 flyer, and whenever she attacks, you exile up to 1 target creature you control, then return it to the battlefield under its owner's control. Another Soul Herder kind of card where you're just going to get that repeatable blink every turn, and a decent 3/3 flyer, 4 mana as well, is a good stats and good attacking. It's going to be evasive, it's going to get in, and you're going to reuse those effects. Wall of Omens is next. Classic. I love this card. It's 2 mana, 0/4 defender, and when it enters, you draw a card. Simple, strong, it blocks really well early, and it's going to be that repeated card advantage you need. Finally is a newer card, Momo Playful Pet, 1 mana for a 1/1, flying, vigilance, and when he leaves the battlefield, you choose one. You either make a food, you put a +1 counter on a creature you control, or you scry 2. The versatility here is incredible. Having those options to either, make a card that you can, or make a food so you can gain some life later, buff up one of your other creatures, or scry 2, I think is probably the best mode on this. Getting that, as they say, every 2 scries is equal to about a card. So getting the options to look at your top cards of your library, maybe move them around a little, means this card's going to be great. And I also want to point out here it's a leave the battlefield ability, which, I mean, we often don't think about as much as those ETB abilities, but those are just as viable and just as strong in a blink or flicker strategy. And again, these cards on their own can play into other archetypes too. Momo's going to help with flyers, same with Photon, and Wall of Omens is a classically great control card, so they're going to see play in those other archetypes, but again, really have their best payoff in the White, Blue, Flicker. Finally, we're going to talk about some blue cards that work for this archetype. Menildor Swift Savior is basically a blue Photon. It's 4 mana for a 3/3 flyer, and whenever it hits a player, you exile up to 1 target creature you control and return to the battlefield under your control. So again, repeatable blink, repeatable flicker. Notably, it can also flicker itself, worst case, kind of give it vigilance, which is a nice niche case that you can use it for. But really, it's going to be that great flyer that's going to deal damage and be great for those flicker and blink strategies. Next is Spider Bite Webboard, 3 mana, 2/2. When it enters, return it to 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This is just the best mana war we've ever seen, the classic 3 mana, 2/2 bounce creature. This can bounce any non-land permanent, making it super versatile, really sets the opponent back, and it has the ability to return itself or maybe one of your other non-land permanents, which you can reuse for more blinking shenanigans, reusing other ETB effects, or even just reusing it as a repeatable creature that you can cast or ETB for, other effects to care about that. Finally, oldie but a goodie, Mole Drifter. We love Mole Drifter. 5 mana 2/2, flying. When it enters, you draw 2 cards, or you can cast for its evoke cost for 3 mana, which means you'll pay it for cheaper, and then you just sacrifice it after it enters, which is nice as an option, but it also has extra strategy in these blink archetypes in that you can use an instant speed blink effect, play it for its evoke cost, blink it, comes back, get even more card draw, and keep it, because you want to sacrifice it since it's been exiled. It's all around a great card. We love to see it. And again, these cards also could be used in other strategies, which is why they're great as standalone cards that help this blink or flicker archetype in Peasant Cube. Meneldoor is a great flyer. Spider Bite is just a great tempo card to bounce that, opponent stuff back. Mole Drifter is just classically great. Can be used in pretty much anything blue. Flyers, card draw matters, sacrifice decks, whatever you want. You can't go wrong with Mole Drifter. And overall, this was the white, blue, flicker, and blink archetype. I just wanted to go over these cards to kind of show when you're building your cube, maybe some cards you want to throw in that point towards this strategy. And that also that way, when your drafters are drafting your cube, they'll see these cards and think, oh, okay, I see a Soul Herder, maybe I can go into this blink strategy. And then, oh, later on, here's this Spider Bite or this Mole Drifter. That's going to play great with my Soul Herder that I already drafted. And all around, it helps guide drafters to see a way that they can play, give them a little bit of guidance, especially when it's a cube that they have never played before. And ultimately, just great cards that are going to help, grease the wheels of your cube, keep things moving, keep things playing. Great standalone cards point towards the archetype, and yeah, you can't go wrong with them. So this has been the White Blue Flicker archetype. Thank you for watching. I'll do this as a series to go over even more archetypes as we go, and as Wizards of the Coast releases even more archetypes and different draft strategies for different sets, we'll just get more and more archetypes over time, and I love to see it, and I hope to see it. I hope to see you back here for more Uncommon Peasant. Like, subscribe, share, comment. If maybe I forgot a card that could be great in the strategy, please let me know. Or if you have other feedback, again, just let me know. We'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching.